Lake Manitoba. August 12, 1962. 17 people, spread across multiple boats, reported watching the same creature at the same time. Not one witness. Not two. 17, in broad daylight, on open water. Whatever they saw, they all saw it together. That's where this case starts. Lake Manitoba sits in the heart of the Canadian prairies, about 120 miles northwest of Winnipeg. It's large, shallow in places, and murky. Unusual creature reports from this lake go back to indigenous oral traditions. The first English-language documented sighting came from C.F. Ross in 1935, who described a large, dark, undulating form moving through the water. Through the late 1930s, 1940s, and 1950s, reports kept coming. Fishermen, farmers, and local residents described a creature variously as dark brown, 15 to 40 feet long, with a serpentine body and one or more humps. In 1957, naturalist and researcher James McLeod began cataloging the accounts, eventually compiling over 50 individual reports. Tom Locke was one of the more detailed early witnesses. A local fisherman familiar with the lake's wildlife, Locke reported seeing the creature in 1960 from a distance of roughly 30 feet. He described a smooth, dark-colored body, no visible fins, and movement that produced a pronounced wake inconsistent with any fish he knew. He reported the encounter without seeking publicity. Then came August 1962. Multiple separate groups of people on the lake reported seeing what appeared to be three distinct creatures traveling together, not one animal but several. Witnesses included vacationers, fishermen, and a local resort operator. Accounts were collected independently. The descriptions aligned on key details: dark color, multiple humps, and smooth, rapid movement. Researcher Richard Greenwell, later affiliated with the International Society of Cryptozoology, reviewed the 1962 accounts and noted the consistency among witnesses who had no opportunity to coordinate their descriptions before being interviewed. The Manitoba Free Press covered the story. Local officials took statements. 17 witnesses across separate viewing positions made this the most corroborated single-event sighting in the lake's documented history. Manitoba provincial authorities received the reports but launched no formal government investigation. The local press treated it seriously enough to follow up for several weeks. James McLeod submitted a compiled report to wildlife officials. The official response was essentially silence, no formal explanation was offered, and no wildlife survey of the lake was commissioned in response to the sightings. The most thorough investigation came from cryptozoologist Roy McCall, who included the Manipogo case in his 1983 research survey of freshwater cryptids. McCall noted Lake Manitoba's physical characteristics, its depth, water temperature, and fish population could theoretically support a large unknown animal. He could not confirm the creature's existence. He also found no systematic evidence of hoax or mass misidentification. The conventional explanations include large sturgeon. Lake Manitoba does contain lake sturgeon, which can exceed 6 feet, or otters, floating debris, or wave refraction creating visual illusions. Those explanations struggle with the 1962 multi-witness event. 17 people independently describing the same features, at the same time, from different positions on the water, is harder to dismiss as misidentification than a single sighting. Lake Manitoba has been fished commercially and recreationally for over a century. Whatever 17 people saw in August 1962 was never formally identified. The report stopped making headlines. The lake didn't change. So what do you think? Is there a rational explanation, or is something else going on? Drop a comment below, and if you've had an encounter of your own, we want to hear about it. Subscribe to WT Historical for more documented cases from the edge of history.